Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It is a very fun bot we've got to watch in the top left here. It is VeTerran, one of the Terran hero bots. VeTerran plays a bit like a human. So we'll see what sort of shenanigans it's cooking up today. And taking on VeTerran is a bot that isn't in the spotlight too much. It's Roro. We will see how it fares against its Terran counterpart, though, with VeTerran being a little bit higher on the bot ladder, I believe. And so Roro's going to have its work cut out for it, but you never know. There's upsets in StarCraft 2 bots like there is in pro games and whatnot. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead, slap that like button. We got 16 SCVs for VeTerran. Let's go for 16 likes on this video. Of course, leave a comment down below as well saying more bots if you want to see more of these bots. I certainly enjoy casting them. And if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member using that join button. Now, we've got already a bit of a cheeky cheese starting for VeTerran, a very aggressive proxy 2 racks play. Going to be a great test for Roro here. Not that if Roro had feelings, it probably wouldn't enjoy this test. But anyway, it is going for a bunker right out the gate, which is very good to see. Now, we'll see how well VeTerran micros around that bunker, whether the bunker is a catch-all for this Proxy Reaper that's coming its way, but it's a good start for Roro. As, yeah, we get a Marine in the bunker. Having a bunker is important, but only if the Marine goes inside said bunker. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then we do have the first Reaper jumping up into the main base. Does Roro react? SCVs are pulled off the line promptly. And oh my gosh, that Reaper just runs right by that bunker. So the bunker clearly works. As I wonder if VeTerran has programmed its Reapers just to avoid units and not buildings. Makes me wonder, perhaps, but anyway, that was a really good start. Killing the first Reaper to defend against a Proxy Reaper in a human match is always so darn big. We see more SCVs pulled off the line. The Marines are still just huddling in the bunker to stay safe, but a Cyclone's already on the way for Roro, so I don't think we need to worry about it too much. We have got Reapers jumping up and down, still harassing these SCVs a little bit. There's a Marine trying to get up this ramp, but that's not going to happen. A natural base on the low ground is a bit bold for Roro, so that is delayed a little bit here. That Marine promptly dies. Another Reaper potentially going to jump up to the main base. Roro showing some good redundancy, though. Getting these SCVs to continuously rebuild that command center is a big test for bots, even repairing up their comrade that was building that. I believe we saw another Reaper or something die there. Yeah, there's only 2 Reapers left, and by all means, this is a hold for Roro, and the command centers are fairly evenly timed, a slight lead for the blue Terran bot. The Cyclone doing a good job moving out on the map, tracks down a Marine, going to be able to kill that off, and then yeah, just start working away on that. But yeah, good redundancy for Roro. I am impressed by the fact that it got SCVs to continue the building of that command center so quick. We see a Cyclone moving out, or a Hellion moving out for VeTerran, but the Cyclone catches it. Hellions or Cyclones are pretty darn good defensive units for Terran early game. Once you get a couple of those, you're generally safe from most shenanigans, and so Roro is in a really good spot here, chasing down these Marines. These SCVs, they're not done in the fight. They want to be involved, so they're repairing the Cyclones up, and we'll see if they go home and start mining. That is 4 SCVs that haven't been mining maybe as long as they should, and I imagine that showed a little bit in the income there, but still a very good spot here for Roro as it's picking off all the units that VeTerran has out on the map. It seems the Cyclone chasing down this poor Marine, he doesn't stand a chance unless the Cyclone gives up, which it does, but then the Reapers get caught out, and oh man, the success for Roro, it just keeps on compounding here as, like, VeTerran lost so many units there. Roro's hold was incredible. Now, we'll see how the follow-up is. I mean, I'd say that Roro is in a really good spot as it is. it's going to depend what sort of composition it goes for, how it plays the late game out, or the mid game as well, as there's a lot of wiggle room in these bot games for comebacks and whatnot. We've got VeTerran getting up a couple Ravens, a Siege Tank, Roro going hard on the Cyclones still, with like 4 out, soon to be 5, no 5, soon to be 6 actually. So a really high Cyclone count for Roro. It's got a big army, lots of Marines out already, ready, as it's been continuously producing those. And then it's going to go for a 3rd base, so no planned aggression, it seems, from the blue bot. Just going to be macroing up, taking its lead, taking it a little bit further. We're seeing Hurricane Thrusters on the way, so a mass Cyclone bot is what we're looking at here. Not something that I expected to see casting this match. We've got Ravens moving around for VeTerran a little bit. VeTerran is just macroing up, though, but with the faster 3rd for Roro, it should hold on to its economic lead. We have got a Widow Mine on the way for VeTerran. Infernal Pre-Igniter, +1. Cyclones are a bit of a risky composition for Roro, as they're not a glass cannon. They're pretty tanky. Nowhere near as tanky as they used to be. But their players tend to take poor engagements with them at times. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. We have VeTerran actually going for a Thor, which I love to see. Thors are... It's been a while since we've seen a Thor game in which a Thor gets shuttled around the map using unlimited APM and a Medivac. That is something that I love to see. We've got another command center on the way for Roro, as it's going to land its 3rd. We've got VeTerran building its 3rd on location. And this is just a big old macro game. As I say that, though, we are going to potentially be seeing an attack here, and the concern is the Cyclones running into siege tanks. I think the Cyclones should be fine against everything except that one tank, depending on how they engage. They're running right by this barracks, but oh man, the Viking gets cut down, Widowmine dead, Hellion's all dying. There's the Thor coming out, just showing us that he is the protector of VeTerran's base, but there's no Medivac in position to save it. The Thor just barely gets on out of there. The Medivac now goes down. The Cyclones are eating tank shots, and this is the concern I was talking about. The Thor is injured, but it's getting a good repair off, and it looks like that the tank is doing what's intended for it, as it's getting some really big shots off. A Cyclone almost picks off the tank, but not quite, and the tank will be repaired on up. Those Marines could have finished it off, but they didn't, and that played out pretty much exactly how I thought it would be. The siege tank, 13 kills, totally clutch. The Thor almost dying was big. That guy got targeted down real quick, but now we've seen Roro throw away most of its supply. It's moving across the map with more Cyclones, locking onto the Thors. We'll see if it can kill one of them. Doesn't look like it, and the Thors, I mean, they like 2 or 3 shot Cyclones, so those Cyclones are all dying. The Thor's going to get repaired on up, and that is not a good trade then for the blue bot, as, oh man, more Cyclones just get popped off, and we're seeing Roro seemingly enter this continuous attack mode. I'm not sure that's going to get any better, though, as the red Terran builds up more of an army. VeTerran moving out, though, could be a bit risky, as it's got its tank unsieged. In come the Cyclones, locking onto the Marines. Can they kill off the Thor? That's the question. Thor gets locked on. Is it going to go down? Yes, we do see one of the Thors perish. There's that killer siege tank getting massive shots off on the Cyclones again. Siege tanks just absolutely wreck Cyclones, as this tank, how many kills does it have now? 18 kills. The captain is doing the work. We've got a 4th base landed on location for Roro, turned into an orbital, so Roro's got a lot of money to potentially throw away. It's making lots of Cyclones still. I'm actually blown away. I don't think I've seen a mass Cyclone bot before. And the play is really entertaining, as it probably is a good thing for Roro, though, that it was able to kill off one of those Thors, that it's a high-value target, at least getting something for its efforts. It's going to move out once more. We'll see if VeTerran can hold on. The question is, can the tank hold on? The tank's been doing 90% of the heavy lifting. The Thor could be vulnerable here. Cyclones locking onto the Thor. Is it going to get saved by the Medivac? The answer is yes. That is good to see. However, now these Cyclones are unopposed. The tank is not repositioning. He says, I've done enough work. What else do you want me to do? Okay, fine. It's shooting a couple more Cyclones. It's just crazy how good tanks are against these Cyclones. That, unfortunately for VeTerran, though, there's no tank guarding its 4th base. Cyclones locking onto a Thor yet again. I don't think the Thor's in any danger, though. It gets lifted off. We're seeing lots of SCVs moving out on the map and Marines trickling around, all getting killed off. We're seeing a Raven potentially go down. These Cyclones are just all over the place, and this is the bot micro. Roro just constantly microing these Cyclones. Maybe not 100% effective all the time, but they're doing pretty darn well. This siege tank has shown up. It's getting lots of work done once more. This tank is up to 27 kills. What a hero. As the Cyclones are all just getting killed off again and again. Now, this isn't a free defense for VeTerran. We're seeing lots of Marines, lots of SCVs go down. I guess the SCVs are being pulled off to repair the random barracks that's way too far forward. Now, we see we've got more Cyclones on the way for Roro. It's got an absurd bank to its name. And this is a little bit concerning for Roro. It has yet to take any more bases, even though it's got enough minerals to build a base at every location on the map. It just lifts off its 4th base because of one Hellion. That's a little concerning. Bit of an overreaction. Now, Roro's trying to turn things around. The siege tank is very far forward. We got to worry a little bit for our hero. Cyclones engaging into Thors. They seemingly didn't have vision for a second. They're in that bush. Thors getting saved. These Cyclones are doing some very, very crappy micro, as they definitely could have killed that Thor, but that did not happen there. And the concern for Roro is there's no more production up for it. This base randomly got lifted off. Roro seems to have an incredibly Roro's a bit of a scaredy cat, is all I'll say. And oh no, the commander, can he hold on? Only one Cyclone is shooting at the tank. The other one is just dying, so the commander seems to have a lot of luck on his side, as now this base is being worked on once again. Cyclones are moving out to reestablish this position. I'm very concerned for Roro, though. The lack of taking a 4th base, the lack of any upgrades on these Cyclones. Looks like the siege tank does go down after doing so much work and undoubtedly saving VeTerran's bacon. Roro's got a lot of money in the bank, but it's just derping out hard with how quickly it lifts off these bases. Like, that seems like a big oversight for programming. Like, I get maybe running the SCVs, but lifting off the base and floating it, that is so bizarre, particularly when just like one unit walking into range. It could be a scout, and it seems it's lifting off these bases. So Roro is just abandoning ship. Not taking any more bases is a big concern. It will eventually run out of steam, whereas VeTerran is getting up a 5th base, making lots of Thors, even making battle cruisers. The Cyclones are moving out. They are locking onto another Thor. Looks like that will be a kill. That's good to see for Roro. It's going to get yet another Thor almost. Do they secure the kill? No, the Thor escapes, and oh dear. VeTerran made another siege tank. That is not good. We're seeing these bushes really mess with the AI here. That siege tank is getting some shots off, but the Cyclones lock onto it. Will kill it after killing that one Thor. Cyclone's still locking onto Marines. Roro is messing up here a little bit, trying to land the base on the wrong location. Cyclones locking onto Thors once more. Supply, though, in favor for VeTerran. Upgrades in favor for VeTerran. Production in favor for VeTerran. Roro's got a big bank to its name, but doing just bot things, not really getting too much done. We see the battle cruiser coming on in here. That's probably going to turn this base around. Yep, the base was like, nope. That's too much for me. BC does not escape. There's too many Cyclones for it to teleport out of there. Thor does get saved. Marines getting picked off. This Thor is without a medevac escort, so it's probably going to perish. It does. Cyclones are getting some really good trades on these high-value units, it seems. I'm not sure if that BC will die. Yes, it does. Another Thor going to perish, so VeTerran's trickling is kind of working against it. That being said, though, it should be totally fine in the long run if Roro never takes another expansion. So that's what I'm really keeping an eye on. It seems a lot of these bots have a 4-base limit. The bot authors say, nope, I got the fundamentals down, 4 bases. I don't want to worry about programming anything more than that. My bot's only going to have like 1 out of 20 games go to more than 4 bases. So just not worth the effort, it seems. These Cyclones are getting some really good trades. Another Thor getting locked on and killed. The micro is so bizarre here. However, it's darn entertaining. Roro lock it on, killing off more units. Cyclones are now moving forward. Is there a tank to defend the space? This could be really problematic for VeTerran. There's no tank. There is some battle cruisers and a Thor, though, so we'll see if it's going to be fine. Cyclone's getting big lock-ons off on this BC, but it's being repaired endlessly. Although the repair runs out, the battle cruiser teleports away like 2 feet. It is still alive, though, and the injured Thors are being lifted up. That is really well done by VeTerran. Looks like one of those Thors does perish. That injured BC is being saved. Another BC comes from behind, and yeah, I gotta say, I'm really enjoying watching Roro's bot play. Just, I would love to see it maybe get some upgrades in a game like this. Maybe get another base. That's all I want. The fact that it's got 10,000 minerals is just ridiculous. As it just continues to make 4 Cyclones. That's all. Nothing else. It keeps making Medivacs, I guess, to kind of micro the Cyclones, but that's not really happening too much. Cyclones locking onto Thors. Not the best angle there, as the Thors will gladly fight a Cyclone one-on-one. SCVs are repairing as well, and more Cyclones are going down. So I think we're probably going to see a case of a bot with better overall fundamentals. Like, Roro has had some incredible moves this game, and I really love the style, but to make a bot that does this is definitely, I imagine, less work than a bot that will gradually expand over time, get upgrades, that kind of thing. And that's why we see VeTerran being one of the top bots, whereas Roro has a bit of weakness here. I am definitely going to keep tabs on Roro, though, to see if it gets more upgrades, that kind of thing. And yeah, just now we're seeing 2 BCs and 4 Thors on the way at a time. 4 Cyclones against 4 Thors at a time. Who's going to win that? I'm curious to see if Roro will ever take more bases as it runs out of bases. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. It's interesting that the bot author programmed like evacuation behavior on the SCVs, whereas it didn't... whereas there's no behavior just to take more bases. It seems like an odd economic focus. Regardless, now we've got Cyclones trying to defend here for Roro. The BCs and Thors are just too darn much, though. I think maybe one of the BCs got forced away or killed there. Resources lost-wise, it's actually in favor for Roro still. That just goes to show how efficient it's been. But as these Thors and battle cruisers get more and more upgrades, it's just looking like too much. There's just all the SCVs for Roro have abandoned ship. There's like 70 SCVs just derping around here. Oh man, what a situation this is. The base lifting off, being evacuated. We're even seeing VeTerran go a little BM, take one of the bases that Roro seems so opposed of taking. And we may actually see Roro die here with 10,000 minerals in the bank. That's unfortunate, but I think unavoidable at this point. 5 Thors is too much. I definitely will cast another Roro game in the future, as this one was just so fun to watch. We'll have to maybe watch it against a bot around its similar level, but even against VeTerran, it had a really good showing, and I see how this strategy could get wins now and again. For example, if that tank of VeTerran had died, who knows, maybe Roro just wins this game. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one as much as I did, make sure to go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not and you watched all the way to the end of the video. This YouTube channel is pretty much the home of Starcraft bots. And yeah, consider becoming a YouTube member. Join the Discord, that's linked down below if you want to become part of the community. What building's left? 1 refinery. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.